machine stopped sometime Tuesday afternoon. I remember hearing the little song from the kitchen. I said I'd get to it right after the call, right after dinner, right after something else. Now there's a stack of clean shirts leaning toward the window, a pair of socks hanging halfway out like they're trying to leave on their own. Every day I walk past and every day I think, maybe later, maybe when I've got a minute. Still in the basket, same place as before. The week's been moving across the floor. Receipts in my pocket, keys by the door. Everybody's going somewhere. Still in the basket, waiting in shape, holding the foes they came out with. Not forgotten exactly, just not today. Wednesday turned into Thursday without asking permission. The weather changed twice. The coffee place down the block painted the front wall blue. I noticed all of it, but somehow missed the laundry again. There's a sweater underneath everything, the one I was looking for yesterday. Funny how the thing you need can spend 2 days right in front of you. Every day I walk past and every day I think, this will be the evening I finally get around to it. Still in the basket, same place as before. The week's been moving across the floor. Receipts in my pocket, keys by the door. Everybody's going somewhere. Still in the basket, waiting in shape, holding the folds they came out with. Not forgotten exactly, just not today. Maybe that's how some things stay. Not because they're difficult, not because they matter too much. Just one small decision, repeated quietly until it becomes part of the room. The way a chair stays angled, the way a light stays on, the way you stop noticing what's been there all along. Still in the basket, same place as before. Another weekend at the door. The neighborhood changing store by store. Everybody's going somewhere. Still in the basket, holding its place, keeping the shape of an earlier day. Not forgotten exactly, just not today. The machine stopped sometime Tuesday afternoon. I remember hearing it, I just never walked back. There's a little flag on the edge of the river, saved sometime last September. A coffee shop with 3 photos and no reviews I could trust. I remember exactly where I was when I pressed the button, standing outside a pharmacy, waiting for the rain to slow down. I thought I'd go that weekend, and something else took the afternoon. A few became 10, 10 became more. Now they're sitting quietly inside my phone. Never went, still know the name, still know the streets they're supposed to be on. right where I left them, between places I visited and places I moved past. Never went, not avoiding them, not saving them for anything special. Just never went. There's a bookstore near a station. I've never stepped inside a place with outdoor tables that only looks good after 6. A bakery 2 cities over, a side road near the coast. Some of them don't even sound familiar now, like somebody else saved them. Years ago, for a version of me with a different Saturday. Sometimes I scroll too far and find one I forgot completely. The photo loads and for a second I almost leave the house. Never went, still know the names, still know the streets they're supposed to be on. Never went, they're right where I left them, between places I visited and places I moved past. Never went, not avoiding them, not saving them for anything special. Just never went. Maybe I liked finding them more than arriving. Maybe the pin on the map was enough for that day. A small promise to myself without a deadline attached. Something to keep without having to carry. There's one by the water I saved 3 summers ago. It's still there, at least on the map. Never went, but I kept them anyway. The cafe by the river, the road near the coast. The bookstore by the station, place with the blue sign. Never went, and somehow I don't feel late. Every dot is still waiting, exactly where I left it. Tonight I saved another one, a small restaurant 40 minutes away. I'll probably forget about it for a while, but it's there now. There's a video about fixing old chairs. Save some time around January. A woman walking through a city I've never been to. A recipe that needed 3 different pens. An interview that everybody shared for about a week. I remember why I saved them, at least I think I do. Most of them arrived during lunch breaks, train rides, or those 10 minutes before leaving home. I kept saying, this looks interesting, I'll come back to it when I got the time. Watch later, that's where they stay, stacked one after another, like books I never opened. Watch later, a small collection of future versions of myself with better schedules and longer evenings. Watch later, not forgotten, just waiting behind things that happened first. There's one about a coastal road shot through a car window, another about a bookstore hidden under a station. A documentary I started and stopped after 7 minutes. A concert recording I still haven't finished. Some of them are old enough now to feel like recommendations from somebody else. Every few weeks I scroll to the bottom and meet old intentions I don't remember making. Watch later, that's where they stay, stacked one after another, like books I never opened. Watch later, a small collection of future versions of myself with better schedules and longer evenings. Watch later, not forgotten, just waiting behind things that happened first. Maybe that's what they were for, not the videos themselves. Just a way of saying not right now without saying no. A temporary shelf for passing curiosity, a place to leave something before the day moves on. There are 216 now. I checked yesterday. Watch later, still growing quietly. New uploads, old intentions, different years. The same button. Watch later, some I'll eventually see. Most I probably won't, but I like knowing they're still there, waiting for a version of me that gets around to things. Tonight I saved another one, a 20-minute video about something I didn't know I cared about until it appeared.